Alright, what's up you guys? I'm here with the Stone Cold Steve Austin WWE DVD Collection Review. And this is a look at all of Stone Cold's DVDs, of course, like I've done before for other wrestlers. But this one has 6 different releases, so a good many here. And, you know, he's appeared in the Attitude Era DVDs, he's appeared in so many DVDs, but these are solely his own. So first up, this one is still sealed, so obviously I'm not going to be opening it. I was able to find this for an insane price. But this was the second WWF DVD ever released. And this is Stone Cold Steve Austin Hell Yeah. This was on VHS first, and then put onto DVD as kind of like a little experiment to see how this would work out. And obviously you can tell they haven't stopped since. So this one does have everything on the back that you would need. And this one was a 1999 release. So you have your chapter selection there. You know, the different pay-per-views that he's participated in. I always really like that. You know, the rattlesnake pose there. Really like that. The Stone Cold saga continues. So it obviously talks about WrestleMania 14. King of the Ring 98. It goes into Road Rage. You know, WrestleMania 15. Hell Yeah music video. Special features, we get web links to WWF sites. It's digitally remastered from the VHS version. Exclusive Superstar interviews. An exclusive look at the Rattlesnake's future. So, you know, we just have kind of different highlights and matches here. And the runtime on this one is only 90 minutes. But, you know, it's a good start. It's not his best release, but of course it is a good start. And then next up, we have Stone Cold Steve Austin What? It's like a comic book. It says like 316. Show you the spine there. And this one's the 12th DVD made in 2002. Nah, it can't be the 12th. No, that's wrong. That's not the 12th. It just doesn't seem right. But, so we got it 3 years after the first one. You know, you just have the different panels here. And this one has a 2 hour and 20 minute runtime. So this one we will take a look at. Get an insert here. I'll show you the disc artwork. Alright, so, you know, it's kind of, in a way, a continuation of the last one. It talks about WrestleMania 17. It talks about No Way Out 2001. His matches with Chris Benoit. Talks about his Mad TV. Kind of, you know, his impact on culture. SummerSlam 2001. The post 9/11 show. And then we do get matches versus Triple H at No Way Out 2001. King of the Ring 96. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat 94. And then Origins of 316, Arn Anderson, the camera guy, Wildlife, and then Back at the Ranch. So kind of gives you an even deeper look into who Stone Cold actually is. So 2002, and then the very next year we have a WWE release now, because Stone Cold said so. Narrated by Stone Cold Steve Austin. And this is a pretty cool cover. I really like that one, the animated skull. So, like I said, 2003. And this one's actually only an hour long. Let me pull this up here. Okay, so, in case you've been living under a rock, everyone knows who Stone Cold Steve Austin is. And now he has set World Wrestling Entertainment on fire. In the history of wrestling, no one has ever caused as much mayhem and violence as Stone Cold Steve Austin. In the next 60 minutes, you'll see highlights of Austin's first year in World Wrestling Entertainment. What does 316 mean? Well, take a look, son, and you'll find out exactly what it means. So, this one kind of gives you, you know, some origins. And like I said, it's only 60 minutes. It's kind of that DVD that a lot of, you know, is given away free a lot of the times with other releases. So, This one is repackaged in an eco case. So, nothing too special about this one. It just kind of gives you a little origin story of who he is, without giving too much away. Because the very next year, in 2004, we got the Stone Cold Truth. And this is the one that kind of delved deep into his life and really who he is. This one is a 3-hour and 15-minute runtime. And we have, you can read the whole thing here, but travel all the way to England to hear from Texas Rattlesnake's 2 daughters, Stephanie and Cassidy, on Stone Cold the Dad. Journey with the Rattlesnake back to his hometown of Edna, Texas. For the first time, this notoriously private man opens his world to you. Plus his mother, father, brothers, and sisters discuss just how a young, polite, and shy Steve Williams transformed into Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't know why I said sisters. It says sister. He only has one sister there. And it also talks about Owen Hart. That is advertised on the back here. DVD extras. We have WCW Tag Team Championship match. Hollywood Blondes versus Arn Anderson and Ric Flair. ECW, the promos, plus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Or Steve Austin versus Mikey Whipwreck. November to Remember. And his WWE debut match as Ringmaster. Plus post-show off-the-air footage, family interviews and stories, plus much more. And it is PlayStation 2 compatible. How exciting. I legit still have my PS2 hooked up. And this one came with, for me, it came with the Stone Cold Steve Austin 4-disc set, which of course we'll get to. For some reason it was packaged in there, as your little promo. Alright, next up we have your first 3-disc set for Stone Cold, the Legacy of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Very, very cool cover artwork here. It's glossy, it's embossed, and this is a 2007 release with a 9-hour runtime. And basically what this is it's kind of a basic match compilation. It's not the documentary everyone was hoping for, but this is really cool. I mean, check that out. Just the detail here. I love that. Just that shot there, too. So, this kind of came out to promote The Condemned, the film that he, of course, was in. And so it was kind of half-assed and thrown together, but at the same time, this is still the first time we had such an illustrious set for Stone Cold Steve Austin. At a time when the 3-disc releases were getting more prominent, and, they were getting pretty good. But this one does come with the 2008 pay-per-view events. That's awesome. I love getting these. And also has WWE 24/7, if you remember that. Someone should call that, see what happens. Huh. But yeah, you have all the promotions down there. Stampede Wrestling, AWA, Jim Crockett. Good stuff. But yeah, I'm assuming that stayed consistent. Because a lot of the times they just change that. Yeah. Alright, so put all that back. And what we have here, beautiful insert. I really like that. Check that out. Alright, so we do have some segments in between, of course. Kind of like, the Rey Mysterio DVD. Just a lot of the DVDs at this time. Like the Edge Decade of Decadence. Just kind of your introductions and interview for you. Just to kind of give you a little background on the match. But we have everything from 1993 all the way up to 2001. And then you do have the Redneck Triathlon as the DVD extra. But I'm not going to name all the matches. I'll name some. You have Stunning Steve Austin versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You have Triangle match for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. Caribbean Strap match. You have the SummerSlam Free-For-All versus Yokozuna. Kind of a rare match. You have versus The Undertaker. Versus Shawn Michaels, of course. Steve Austin and Dude Love versus Owen Hart and British Bulldog. versus Owen Hart versus Kane, of course, for the WWE title. Does go into Mr. McMahon there. And then we have non-title match against Eddie Guerrero. And then, of course, you have to have WrestleMania 17 on here. You know, what's a Stone Cold Steve Austin DVD without WrestleMania 17 against The Rock? So, you know, this is a good one to have. And I like how you have the snake scales there. Snake skin. Alright, if I can get that back in there. Yeah, screw it. I'll get it later. But yeah, so the Legacy of Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's a good set. Definitely go pick it up. It could have been improved upon, but luckily, later on we had Stone Cold Steve Austin, the bottom line and the most popular superstar of all time. 4-disc set. You know, just, this is what everyone was waiting for. This is a true documentary, and everything you possibly need on Stone Cold Steve Austin. Seriously. But you can see here, it's glossy on the back. 10-hour runtime. Honestly, that could have been fit on 3 discs, but it is what it is. So, opening it up here, you get all, look at all this. All your information, you know, disc 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. But let's take a look at the packaging first. Nothing too special when it comes to packaging. Yeah, did anyone seriously see that? Come on. Jesus. And on the back, behind your discs, you get some really cool artwork. Arrive, raise hell, leave. Love that quote. And, you know, the discs are pretty cool. You get some cool artwork. You have like half and half there. Very nice. Alright, so, of course you get your documentary, which takes up pretty much all of disc 1. It's not a half-assed documentary either. It really goes into detail. Talks about his football career, growing up, Rookie of the Year, and, you know, it goes into WCW, of course, and, you know, it doesn't stick around too much in WCW there. Mostly gets into WWF, and, you know, his WrestleMania 14 match with Mike Tyson. Well, not with Mike Tyson, with Shawn Michaels, and then Mike Tyson's involvement. And then the Austin era has begun. Of course, winning the title at 14. And then, you know, it goes in depth with his rivalry with Mr. McMahon, the character of Mr. McMahon. Of course, it gets into him versus The Rock. It gets into his comedy a little bit. And then, of course, his eventual departure in 2002. And then his return and his final match, WrestleMania 19. And then it gets into his personal life a little bit and what he's been doing since then. Special features. We have a few extra chapters here. Talks about the Hair Club, of course. His finishing move, the Stunner. And then disc 2, we have the matches. I'll name a few here. This one goes back to 1990 to 2001. Alright, so we have Stunning Steve Austin and Ric Flair versus Sting and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You have his King of the Ring final versus Jake the Snake Roberts. Of course, you have to have the submission match versus Bret the Hitman Hart. WrestleMania 13, and in my opinion, the greatest wrestling match in WWE history. You have an Intercontinental title match against Rocky Maivia. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels, 98, of course. Austin versus Dude Love, versus The Undertaker, versus Big Show, versus The Rock, WrestleMania 15. And then no disqualification match for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 17. So WrestleMania 19 is not on here, nor the last one. Kind of strange. And then disc 4, you get all these different vignettes and promos and really kind of stories that are, you know, it's very interesting, very eye-opening. And I love when they add a 4th disc just full of stories. You know, you have like talks about the highlight reel, his relationship with Jim Ross, Jim Ross interviewing Steve Austin and The Rock, the world's most famous stunner, the Zamboni, Monday Night Quill. So this one, you know, you shouldn't even ask which of these to get. If you're only going to get one, get this one. But there really hasn't been a bad Stone Cold DVD. So let me know, of course, which one your favorite one was. And, you know, highly recommend it. Get this one. It's also on Blu-ray as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little look at Stone Cold Steve Austin's DVD history. And this has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.